Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is SJ. Just out taking an afternoon ride. Got a couple of errands I need to run, and I've been thinking about putting together this video for quite a while. This video is not a review of the new Honda Goldwings, but more or less what made me decide to make the jump to the 2020 Honda Goldwing Tour DCT. When this bike first came out, when the new models first came out in 2018, I went and test drove the bike, and to be honest with you, I didn't care for it. I didn't like that it was I test drove a DCT. I didn't like that in one of my favorite curves, it didn't respond the way I wanted it to. And they say that, well, the longer you ride it, it gets to figure out your riding style, and it kind of adjusts to your style of riding. That may or may not be true. I think there's a small adjustment that it makes. If you get down on it hard, it's going to stay ramped up. So in those cases, if you're like passing a vehicle, or you're just getting on a freeway and you're really getting down on it, and it gets up to fourth gear, and it's thinking that you're still trying to get to like 150. So it stays revved up, and then I found that, okay, you can make it upshift to get it back in a normal state. So that made it a little bit better. But like I said, first impressions, I didn't really care for it. I like the bike because I like the style of it. I like the way it looked, but I didn't really think about the practicality of it. So along comes the pandemic, and trying to do the sensible thing for elderly people in the family, and then I'm having to work. Well, I guess I'm blessed. I was needing to work through this pandemic. And because I was working with different people, and you can't control everybody, so you can only control yourself. So I chose to stay away from some family members that had other health issues for their protection. So all that to say is that I was spending a lot of time self-isolated, and being single was not the easiest thing to do, but you have to make sacrifices. So I'm home now, and I'm watching bunches of videos, and I'm watching videos on the new Goldwings, and the more I'm seeing, and I'm hearing all these people with these great reviews of the bike, and I know it's a Honda, so there's not an issue there, but I'm just I'm listening to that, and I'm thinking, man, hey, you've had your bike for 12 years. You're about to turn 60. You deserve a new bike. So guess what? I go out and I buy a new bike. Love my bike. But to be honest, it wasn't the best purchase for me, because of the reason I own the bike. I own the bike to travel. I travel alone. I'm on the road for long periods of time, and one big problem for me was the storage. And everybody's got their storage wars and all that, but for me, when I travel, I don't like to look like I'm traveling. I don't want to have to use an external bag, which this bike has forced me to do. So that was one issue. Now the DCT, that was one of the reasons that I made the purchase, because through my travels I have been in several traffic jams, and to ride the clutch in creep-in traffic, especially when you're out in California, it's just a pain. Now the size of the bike had something else to do with my making this purchase, because I like the fact that, you know, it had slimmed down and gotten smaller. And again, back to California, when you're out west, you can split lanes. And I've been out there and I've been stuck in traffic, and trust me, I found myself splitting lanes. Okay, but the Goldwing is a massive bike to be splitting lanes with. It can be done, but it's not advised. So I was thinking that, okay, you get the DCT, you don't have to worry about the slow speed riding the clutch, and it's slimmer, so when I decide to go ahead and split lanes, not that big of a deal. So so I got the bike. Am I happy that I got the bike? Not at all. Since I made this purchase, right after I made the purchase, I immediately started trying to make a trade back to get my bike back, and you won't believe how much money they expect you to lose to trade back a brand new bike that you just bought from the dealership. Okay, so right off the bat, I'm looking at losing $8,000 for less than a week. Not gonna happen. If I had followed some other advice that I gotten, but by the time I decided that that's what I was going to do, it was too late, because my bike was cherry. And when I decided to just go ahead and just buy my bike back and have to, they had already sold it. So since that time, I have been constantly looking for newer Goldwings, up to the year 17, that I could pick up, and I've run across a couple, but since they're across half the country, it's not like I could just run down, take a look at it, make sure this is the bike I want, and test drive and all that. So because of the locations, why I haven't made a purchase yet. Now, some of the differences in this bike, in the 2020 and my 2008, you know, there's not a bunch of differences. Of course, the DCT, that's different. It's automatic. This bike, the 2020, comes loaded, but there's very little that this bike has to offer that I didn't have on my other bike. Okay, now I didn't have Android Auto and, you know, the Apple CarPlay, but I had a Bluetooth adapter that I could Bluetooth my phone to my bike and play my music and all that. So because it's got Android Auto, it's cute, but it wasn't really necessary. The adjustable screen, windscreen, you know, that's another nice feature, but in all honesty, when I would ride, I always kept my visor in the lowest position, and it's not a big deal to have to stop for a second and lift it up. There's no tools involved. It's all hand. You don't even have to get off the bike to do it. So the adjustable windscreen, nice, but you know, not really necessary. Now the things that about this bike that really that I really don't care for is now the size. Okay, this bike doesn't offer nearly the wind protection that the older bike did. And the reason for that, and why that's an issue for me, is that, like I said, I'm 60. And so when I'm up in Wyoming and Montana and I'm riding in the cold, I like having enough fairing that there's no wind on my knees. There's no cold air constantly on my knees. You know, I don't know, you can get wind deflectors, because I had to buy some for my 2020, but I didn't have to have those on the 08. I never put any on the 08. I also liked having the vents that would let the heat off the engine come back on your legs, and you also had the lower louvers that you could open up that would let hot air on your feet and your ankles. So all that was nice. You know, you had the heated grips, heated seat, just like on the 2020. So just for that kind of comfort, as for me, was better. Now people travel, and I'm not saying that the older Goldwings are the only bike that you can put on a highway. I wouldn't have bought this one if I believed that to be true. It's just a different style of riding. What I found is that this bike is more like the enduro touring bikes. You know, I mean, you can travel on any bike you decide that you like. It doesn't have to be a Goldwing. If you want to do it on a Harley, you can do it on a Harley. I mean, if you want to travel on a Ninja, you can do it. You can be comfortable that long. But I bought my Goldwing to travel, to be on the road weeks at a time. And when I'm on the road, I'm not one of those that, you know, I'll ride for a couple hours, then I'm gonna have to take a break. I usually ride from sun up to sundown, stopping only for fuel, grab a snack, and yeah, guess he's in a hurry. Grab a snack, and I'm back on the road. I'm to get to a particular destination. And then when I get there, you know, I'll stop. If there's something I want to do, I'll stop and I'll spend some time there, and then I'm off again. So you can do that on any bike. It's just that I had a system put together, and because I've made this change, I've got to change my system. So I'm gonna end this video now. There's a couple people I wanted to send a shout out to on some of their videos. One was Chris Caliente. Chris did a video that spoke about Goldwing remorse. Unfortunately, by the time that video came out, or by the time I found that video, I had already made my purchase. I'd watched several of his videos before, riding and shooting the breeze, and I just didn't see that one in time. I think that would have helped my frame of mind give me something else to think about before I made the purchase. Not saying that it would have stopped me, but it would have given me something else to think about. But since I've gotten this bike, I have to send a shout out to Cruise Man of Cruise Man's Garage. Watching his videos and some of the things that he's done to his Goldwing encouraged me to go ahead and try to do a couple of add-ons, additions to mine, and I'll probably go over those additions in another video. But thanks a lot, Cruise Man. The only thing that I'd say I'm a little disappointed on as far as Cruise Man goes is that Cruise Man actually had the older Goldwing and traded up, and for him it wasn't a problem, but he travels differently than I do. Cruise Man, he uses a trailer. I don't, so that's, I guess it's really not the same. But anyway, I'm going to end this video, and one more shout out. I want to send a shout out to my cousin Cheryl, who has listened to me go on and on and on about the Goldwing and my problems or my issues with the Goldwing, and she encouraged me to do this, to make this channel and get this out there, because it may serve somebody else. It may serve somebody else well. And cousin Cheryl's going to be having a channel of her own come out, and hopefully I can get that information to you once she does that. Anyway, stay safe, bikers. Keep them both on the ground. Talk to you later. Bye.